Always a mad scramble. Always a mad scramble to come live to you. Welcome to the Kellie kitchen. I made it, and it's really always amazing to me, the mad dash I have to get those cameras rolling so that I can be ready for you guys. So we're here again for some keto cooking at home during quarantine, although things are starting to open up. So hopefully you guys have learned a few things and you'll keep coming every Monday night. Hi, Mendy. How are you? Good to see you. And Emma Lou, nice to see you. Say hi, you guys. Tell me where you're from. If you're catching this on a replay, put replay. I'd love to see who comes to visit me. We have got a very busy evening tonight. I am on a little bit of a lemon kick, and I'm also on a coconut kick. So tonight we are going to be making my lemon rosemary chicken, and it is a family favorite, and I have made it so that it's keto friendly. And my old recipe, the only reason it wasn't keto friendly is because I added flour. I breaded the chicken, and which actually helped with the thickening of the sauce. But we're going to use something completely different than flour, so we can keep those carbs low. We're also going to be making my keto magic bars because they are magic. All the recipes, I can't even believe it, all the recipes are on my website, thekelliekitchen.com, Kellie with an I-E. And okay, so we're making the lemon chicken, we're making the keto magic bars, and then one of the number one questions I get is about a breakfast alternative instead of eggs. People are sick of eggs, and they want something new, and they want something that's going to be on the go. A couple of years ago, before keto became a thing, we used to make overnight oats, and you put oatmeal into a jar with some almond milk and some stuff. You shake it up and you leave it in your fridge overnight, and then by the morning time, you can grab it and take it to your office with you. Well, we don't eat oats on keto low carb. So there is a really fun way to make a sort of faux oatmeal using chia seeds. And I've always sort of eaten chia seeds, but I never have really liked it, or I've never had it this way. So we are going to make overnight chia keto style. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our chicken started, and we're going to brown it on both sides. I have a skillet going right now with probably about a tablespoon of olive oil in there. I like to use, in this recipe, I like to use thin sliced chicken breast. It just cooks so much faster. You can get it already thin sliced at your supermarket. If you don't find it there, you can slice it on your own. It's also known as chicken cutlets, and we're going to add this in a layer in your skillet. You do not want to overcrowd it because you want this to brown on both sides. So while that is, we don't want to add this one because it's not going to have enough room to do its sort of thing there. Or I'm going to season the other side. I already seasoned with salt and pepper. So do a little sprinkle on both sides, and we're just going to let that cook a little bit. We'll get that nice and brown on one side. We'll flip it over, and we're going to take it out, and then we'll do that last chicken breast that I have left over here. And so I always like to multitask while I'm in here because it gives you guys a sense of like getting dinner on the table fast. So you know, while I really enjoy spending a lot of time just hanging out in the kitchen, I know that a lot of people have hangry family members, you know, children at your feet, people saying, where's my dinner, where's my dinner? And so you got to sort of multitask to make it all happen. So that layer of chicken is going to start browning up. I have a plate over here to the side. So when this is done, I'll move it here and I'll do this last piece. While this is doing its thing, I am going to get started on our keto magic bars. So I've made I'm sorry, these are Keto Magic cookies. Sorry. I've made Keto Magic bars, also known as 7-layer bars, and very similar to Hello Dolly bars. And the difference is that this doesn't have a cookie crust on the bottom. It's just the top sort of stuff, the chocolate chips, the white chocolate chips, the pecans, the coconut, and it's mixed all together. And the way that it cooks together, it forms into a really delicious thick cookie that I'm actually thinking it's probably my favorite cookie that I've ever made. So in my bowl here, I have 3 tablespoons. Oh, by the way, the recipe's on the website, Keto Magic cookies. I have softened butter, not melted and not hard. Softened butter, and I have coconut oil. And you notice how it's room temperature, so it's hard. And you want it to be like that because we're going to cream them together. This is what coconut oil looks like when it comes. It's hard at room temperature, and it just looks like that. I used to not use very much of this, but with all this coconut stuff that I'm doing these days, I'm using a lot of coconut oil. So we're going to, with my hand mixer, I'm going to cream this together so you get all the lumps out. And it's really a good idea to have this all room temperature so that it creams together really nicely. No lumps. It just is sort of creamed together. Now, the recipe that I made online is perfect the way that it is. The only change that we're going to do tonight is that I've been left with so many egg whites by making this recipe because the normal recipe calls for 4 egg yolks. So yesterday I made a batch with just 2 full eggs, and I really like the way that it turned out. I don't know that I'm going to change the recipe on the website, but we're going to use 2 full eggs for this recipe. Actually, first, before I put the eggs in, I'm going to add in a brown sugar. It's a low-carb brown sugar sweetener. This is Lakanto monk fruit sweetener. This is the golden version. You don't have golden, you can use regular. I'm not going to hold that against you. It does give it a nice little flavor. And I'm going to pour that right into my creamed coconut oil and butter. And cream that in there. The idea is that you want this to form a paste. And that came together very nicely. Okay, in the meantime, I'm hopping ship back to my chicken. And I'm looking for my tongs. We are going to not turn those just yet. They're not ready just yet. Keep those high enough. Maybe I should turn that a little higher. Back to our Keto Magic bar. So I'm going to add 2 full eggs, and we'll cream this together. My eggs are also at room temperature. I'm not sure that that totally matters, but again, if the eggs are cold, you'll probably seize up the coconut oil and the butter a little bit. So it's probably just better to do it all room temperature. And I'm going to just cream that all together. And beautiful. Okay, that's it for my hand mixer. So we have our sweetener, our coconut oil, and our butter all mixed together. I'm just going to use my spatula, my rubber spatula, and scrape it all down from the sides. So this is our binder. This is what's going to hold all of our other stuff together. So I usually find Lily's semi-sweet chocolate at the supermarket. I don't think you're going to have a problem finding that in the States. The white chocolate chips, a little bit harder to find in the supermarket, but you will be able to find these. You will be able to find these online, and when you buy these things online, you actually get them for a lot cheaper. So Julie asked about an allulose monk fruit blend with these cookies. The thing about allulose is that it doesn't harden up. So I'm not sure that it would work. It would hold these cookies fully together. I usually use allulose when I want my cookie to be chewy, and it might work because you've got the egg binding it there. But I would have to test that out because allulose is an interesting sweetener for keto low carb. It's one of my go-to sweeteners, but I don't use it for everything because it doesn't fully harden up. I hope that answers your question. So in my jar here, or my bowl here, I have white chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips. I have shredded unsweetened coconut, and I have a cup of roasted pecans. I particularly think that pecans are the way to go for the nut in this recipe, but you don't have to. You could use walnuts, you could use almonds, but I think, like, for me, the pecans kind of do. They just sort of make this recipe. Let's check our chicken because it might be. Oh, perfect. You guys see how beautiful that is? Woo! Nice. Housekeeper's coming. We're going to turn that chicken over and let that continue doing its thing. So one of the other things about this magic cookie recipe is that it sort of has this sweet, salty, chewy, crunchy mixture. And that's why I really feel like it's a magic cookie. So the salt is really imperative, and it's a half a teaspoon. Where's my, I lost my, oh, found it, my measuring spoon. So it is a half a teaspoon of salt, and it really adds a sweet, salty, crunchy mix. So I'm going to pour all of my chocolate chip, nuts, coconut all into my bowl. And I'll just give that a nice toss, and I'll make sure that it all is bound together. See if you guys can see this. And while I'm stirring this, I'll say hi to some people. So somebody just asked, Jean just asked, I got both kinds of chips at Amazon, and they arrived in one day. I tell you, that Amazon, it really is quite a miracle. I would be remiss if I didn't give a massive shout out. Today is Peter's birthday, the love of my life, my chief taste tester, and the CEO of all dishwashing in the Kellie kitchen. So happy birthday, Peter. I love you. And everybody say hi and happy birthday to Peter. He's in the other room on his bike watching along, I'm sure. But he is instrumental to the Kellie kitchen, and we love him so much. Okay, guys, here is our mixture of all of our keto magic cookie stuff. I also like to do this in a silicone muffin tin because it holds the cookies into a specific space. And this recipe it makes 12 cookies. Turn this down a little bit. I think it's time to move our chicken. Yes, and we'll get that last piece on there. Get our last piece of chicken on there. Get that browning up. Get that out of the way. And burn myself. So I'll move this over here so you guys can see this. So this recipe calls for 12. I like to use this ice cream scooper because it is a perfect amount, just under 1 scoop for each little muffin cup. And if I go overboard or if I skimp on one, I can always move it around. And after I get all of this after I get all of this pressed into the mold, then I have my oven going at 350 degrees. And we bake this for about 15 minutes. So again, the recipe on the website calls for 4 egg yolks. We're trying something a little different tonight because I have so many egg whites in my fridge right now, and I made these yesterday with just full egg, and they came out really well. They came out tasting really fantastic. So I just take the back of my ice cream scooper and I press these down so that they're almost going to be like a puck of a cookie. That one has a little bit too much. And when these come out of the oven, they will be bubbly and very, very wet. The imperative part is to let them cool to room temperature. And I cannot believe I don't have any already made because I've been making these non-stop. But this is what our Keto Magic cookies will look like going into our oven. 350 degrees for 15 minutes. Pop those in there. And 15 minutes. Almost time to get our, oh, perfect. Okay, so we're just going to brown that other side of that chicken. In the lemon chicken, it's a simple mixture that comes together. You'll see in my pan, I don't know if you can see it from that far away, but when you brown chicken, you get these little brown bits in the pan. That is flavor gold. You want to keep that in there. You don't want to burn it though, but you want to keep that in there. And once I take this piece of chicken out in about another 30 seconds or so, now these chicken, they're not fully cooked all the way through. They're just seared on both sides. And the simmering process that we're going to do is going to fully cook them all the way through in a sort of like a simmering braise. Okay, so our chicken is off to the side here. My pan is still going. I have a cup of chicken broth, and I'm going to just pour that in there. You can hear that? So that is going to start simmering, and we're going to start scraping the brown bits off the bottom of the pan. And this is going to start simmering, and it's going to, all the flavor from the chicken is going to come up into the chicken broth. Okay. Well, that's starting to do its thing and starting to simmer. I have a few things that I want to share with you. I'm working on a creamsicle popsicle, an orange creamsicle. This is a brand of keto-friendly Jello. See that? It's called Simply Delish. I have never seen this at a regular supermarket, but I have seen this at Whole Foods. You can also get this online. It's very inexpensive. It actually is not made with gelatin. It's made with carrageenan, which is, some people will get a little bit uppity about carrageenan, but it's a vegan version of a gelatin. It's also sweetened with erythritol and stevia. So this is a raspberry flavor. I don't recommend this as just plain Jello. I have not had luck with it as plain Jello, but I'm using this in my creamsicles and popsicles, and it's turning out to work really well. So I definitely like this, to use this, and it's inexpensive. It's called Simply Delish, and that will be coming your way. All right, kiddos, it's time to get this simmering just a little bit more. I forgot my butter, and where is my butter? There it is. I got a jumbo thing of butter. So we're gonna do. I'm a little messy here. I should have had this already prepped. So we'll do here. This is about 1 tablespoon of butter. We're gonna let that melt in there with that. We are also going to add, as soon as our butter melts, we are going to add Glucomannan. So, you guys may have heard me talk about this. Some people have only found it in the vitamin and supplement section of the supermarket. It's also known as konjac root. It is 2 grams of carbs and 2 grams of fiber for a half of a teaspoon. Okay, so that's 0 carbs. This has proven to be a great sauce and soup thickener. I got this online. It comes usually in pill form. I was able to find this in pure powder form, and you just need a little bit, half a teaspoon to a teaspoon, and it thickens with your soup as your soup gets, with your sauce as your sauce is really hot and simmering, and the sauce will get nice and thick, like a gravy. I know that a lot of stuff is usually a little soupy, so I like to thicken it up, and it doesn't have a flavor to it. The key is to sprinkle it on or to make a slurry, because if you don't, it will clump up. So we just whisk that around a little bit. We are also going to, we might add a little bit more of that in just a minute. So we're also going to add a 1/4 of a cup to a 1/2 cup of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. Ooh, beautiful. And I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. I love it, super lemony. We'll keep that going nice and simmering. And we'll get that sauce. We'll get that to thicken up. Now I just added more liquid, so that's going to thin it out a little bit. I'm also going to add a 1/2 cup of heavy cream, and that gives it a nice creamy texture. So you have the tang of the lemon sauce, and then you have the cream makes it a nice lemony sort of gravy flavor. Okay, I like to use fresh rosemary. It grows wild everywhere here. You could potentially just use jarred rosemary is fine too, but if that's all you have, then that's great. But if you can get fresh, I highly recommend that. And we'll just get that into the sauce. Okay, now here's the part where we're going to cook the chicken just all the way through. So we're going to put our chicken back into the pan, and everybody's going to think you're a genius when you can get dinner on the table. And you're going to put all those juices from the chicken right there in your pot, in your pan. It's on a low heat, and we are going to cover this and let it simmer. I don't have a full thing, but you can put a piece of tin foil if you wanted, and we're going to let that simmer for about 10 minutes, okay? How are we doing? Are we loving all of this? I know that I am. We're gonna serve this, I'm gonna serve this with cauliflower rice, and I'm not making that right now. I'm gonna make that off camera. You guys have seen me make it before, and I just figured I'd focus on some other things. So we're gonna have a salad with this, and we're also gonna have cauliflower rice. I'm gonna make double cauliflower rice so that I have it left over for tomorrow. And so that's going to do its thing, and it's going to simmer, and it's going to cook the chicken, and it's going to have lots of yummy, yummy, yummy flavor. And it's perfectly, the sauce is perfectly thick right now, so I don't need to do anything else. Let's talk keto wine. Okay. So I don't know if so I have a client, and his name is Wiz, and he shared this wine with me. It's called Shirley Wines, and it is a sparkling rosé. Alcohol has been removed. So anybody that's going to get snarky with me and say, what's the point of drinking wine if there's no alcohol in it? But I've had this, and it actually is really delicious. It tastes like just a real rosé wine, a sparkling wine, and it's a great option. It's only available online. I believe the website is called Hi Shirley, S-U-R-E-L-Y, Hi Shirley. And this bottle was $24, and I got it within like a day and a half. It came, or maybe 2 days, 2.5 days. It came so fast, and I bought 3 bottles, so I got a little bit of a discount. And I just think I don't drink very often, but it's really nice to sort of have something like this. And with our birthday dinner that we're going to have tomorrow night for Peter, we're going to have some of our Shirley sparkling rosé wine, and it's alcohol removed. So there are 2 carbs per glass. And I think the most important thing is that there's no hangover with this, which is always such a problem for me. I don't like that feeling. So anyways, just thought I'd share that with you as an option. Let's take a look at making our keto overnight chia. So this is kind of interesting. I have one of the most common questions I get is, what can I eat other than eggs for breakfast? Hi, Rhonda. How are you? From Australia. Good to see you. That's right. I forgot you were from Australia. Yes, Christine says even better, no hangover. Yeah, it's the wine, definitely. I'm going to put this right here so you guys can see that. It's called Shirley, highshirley.com. I think that's the website. If it's not the website, let me know and I'll get you the website. So let's get busy with our keto overnight oats. And I forgot to grab my almond milk. So you can make this nut-free. It's obviously dairy-free, but we're going to use unsweetened, unflavored almond milk. So we will do, let's put this here so you can see it. Ah. Okay. I am a huge fan of mason jars. I got these actually online. I love the sort of the hexagon argyle sort of thing. And I also got plastic lids for the top. This is the two piece lid, which I don't love, but this is how they come. And I was able to I was able to get matching plastic lids. And I just like it better than having the 2 pieces all just flopping all over the place. So we are going to fill this with 1 cup. This is 16 ounces. I think this is 16 ounces. Maybe it's a little bit less. We're going to do 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk. You do this the night before. So it really needs a good 10 hours or, 8 to 10 hours overnight. Longer is better for your chia seeds to soak overnight. So we've got a cup of our almond milk, and put that right there so you guys can see that. And then we are going to add 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. We'll just pour those right in there. These are whole chia seeds. This, I think, was $2.50 for almost a pound of chia seeds. They come in black, white, and tan or natural color. You want any color is fine, but you want the whole seed because it holds the water and it holds the liquid and it creates a sort of a gelled consistency. So you want the whole chia seeds. So we're going to put 2 tablespoons in there, and then you're also going to use 2 tablespoons of shredded coconut. If you don't have shredded coconut, you can use coconut flour. And the idea of the coconut is that it also soaks up some of the liquid, and it creates sort of a chewy, gelled texture, but not gelled like Jello. It's just gelled together so that it has a thickness like cooked oatmeal. Okay, we are also going to put in, God, I really wasn't prepared tonight. Look at me. I have 2 things that I'm going to add to this. This is where we get to have a little bit of fun. So you don't have to add any sweeteners to this if you don't want to. I like to add a little bit of liquid stevia right there. So liquid stevia, I put about 5 to 7 drops of liquid stevia in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. The recipe calls for vanilla extract. But I like strawberry banana, or you might like chocolate banana, or you might like vanilla pumpkin spice, or whatever. You can play around with the extracts. That's our keto magic cookies. You can play around with the extracts. I'm going to do banana extract because I'm going to add strawberries and bananas to my keto oatmeal, my keto overnight chia. Don't worry, I didn't forget about my cookies. So that is about a ½ teaspoon. This is just banana extract. You can get a bazillion different flavors, whatever you like. Let me grab my keto magic cookies, and actually, I'm going to go just a few more minutes on those because I want them to start to get a little bit brown on top. Okay, so we have our almond milk, we have our chia seed, we have our shredded coconut, we have our stevia, and we have our extract. Again, you can use vanilla extract if you want. I use banana. I have coffee. I have pumpkin spice. You can use whatever you want. You're going to put your lid on, and you're going to give it a big, long shake, maybe like 10 or 15 seconds. And it's all mixed together. And can you see how it's pretty liquidy like that? Well, this is going to go into your fridge overnight. You can make a bunch of these. Make like for the whole week, you can make these and put them in your fridge because they stay good in your fridge for at least several days. Then, when you are ready for your overnight chia, can you see how it's thicker? See how it's nice and thick? It has kind of the consistency of oatmeal. Now, I kind of feel like this is a little bit like mashed cauliflower. So I'm going to preemptively say this does not taste like oatmeal. Just like mashed cauliflower is not mashed potatoes. This is overnight chia, which is supposed to be a good substitute for overnight oats or for oatmeal, if that's something that you really want. And if you want a substitute for eggs and bacon, this is your jam, okay? This is the best. The recipe did get up on the website, so go to thekellykitchen.com because the recipe is there, and then you can make any sort of variations. If you need any suggestions, ping me, and I'll let you know. So we're going to take our chia. Hopefully I won't spill that. And we are going to pour that right. See if I'm going to pour this right. See how it has a nice thick consistency. We'll pour that right into our bowl. Then, my friends, you can add whatever you want from here. You can just eat it just like that if you want. But I like to add a little bit of fresh strawberries. Put those on. Make it look really pretty. That's maybe like 2 strawberries. 2 strawberries, super low carb. There you go. I don't recall the carb count, but it is on the website. It's at the bottom. It's pretty low. Coconut and chia have a lot of fiber in them, so it makes these very low carb. Okay, pause on the overnight chia because our magic bars are done. Ah, bubbly, bubbly, very, very hot. So I need to pay attention here, kids. Let's take a look. Oh, okay. So, super, super hot. So these are nice and bubbly. All the coconut oil and the butter is all bubbly, and all the coconut and the pecans are all toasty, and then the chocolate and the white chocolate are kind of melty in there. And so we are going to let these sit until they are absolutely room temperature, because we need that coconut oil to harden up, and we need it to all come together so that it creates this nice little cookie. And then we'll keep it in the refrigerator, and it is a great, great cookie, and it's a great afternoon snack. It is very low carb. I think it's only 3 grams net carb per cookie. So those, my friends, are our magic cookies. Yay! Delicious. We'll let that cool. Back to our overnight chia bowl. We're going to make this look really pretty. And that's about a tablespoon of almonds. And then I'll just add a little bit more, maybe a little bit of that's like a teaspoon of our shredded coconut. And there, my friends, is our, let's show you guys too. There is our chia overnight. This is our chia overnight, our keto overnight chia, right? Okay, so I put banana in this. So it's like banana, strawberry, and coconut. This is a great, great substitute for eggs. No eggs used in making our overnight chia. I could have this for dinner. Delicious. Okay, last thing, you guys, let's take a look at our chicken. It's so, so pretty. And our sauce is nice and thick. And our chicken, I'm not gonna take it out of here because I don't want to mess it up. But I want to just taste the sauce because I know it's going to be this beautiful, tangy, creamy. It's amazing. And I have 4 very large pieces of chicken. This is actually 1.5 pounds of chicken. And I'm just going to leave this in here because I got to go take pictures of this for the blog so you guys can see how pretty this looks. You guys, that was dinner. In less than 40 minutes, we made keto overnight chia. We made keto magic cookies, best cookie of all time. And we made our lemon rosemary chicken. Dinner on the table. I'm going going to throw together some cauliflower rice. I'm going to throw together a salad, and then we will call that dinner, okay? Thanks so much for joining me. You can find all my recipes on my website. Share it, like it, do whatever you guys do online. Ask any questions. Give me any suggestions. I get a lot of really great suggestions from you guys. Sometimes I just can't get to them all, but I love hearing from everybody, and let me know how you're doing. Thanks so much for joining me, and happy birthday, Peter. We love you. Okay, bye.